us all together. Lord, we gather in your name as children of a sovereign God. Forever we proclaim, to God be all glory.
Well, good evening. How you doing? It is Wednesday, May 28th, 2025. Welcome to episode 333 of The Thinking Theologian as we continue our journey through the scriptures. So today we read Nehemiah chapters 10 and 11. The title of today is Loving and Settling in a City. The focal scripture is in Nehemiah 11:2, and this is what it says. The people blessed all the men who volunteered to live in Jerusalem. And so I've had several great experiences in my life. One of the best for me personally and as a family was our time in the metro Atlanta area. I can honestly say that the experiences we had greatly shaped us as a family in all positive ways. Personally, it changed how I view many things, especially biblically. How I view ministry, how I view how to reach people and talk to people and deal with people and how to minister to people and serve people. It greatly changed how I viewed things because growing up where I did is just a very small community, and the diverseness and the opportunity to minister to different people and different ethnic groups and different and become more cultured. The best way to explain it, be more cultured, greatly influenced me, changed me. Some of the greatest times I've experienced in ministry and ministry wise, but also how it's affected my life and also especially my son. I believe has a broader understanding and a broader respect for different people, cultures, and knows how to deal with them in different ways compared to most people his age, especially people who live in small towns or in towns where everybody looks just the way they do. And so that's kind of a glimpse into why I feel the way I do about this. And so personally, it changed how I view many things. Like I said, especially biblically, it was a difficult time of growth personally, but on a ministry level, stretched, challenged, and taught me to rely on God's power more than any part of my faith journey. It was difficult to move away from what was comfortable, move away from things. Things change when you move away and come back. You're not the same person, and when people want you to be the same person, it doesn't always go well. I definitely experienced that when I moved back from Atlanta area and came back to my hometown. People wanted me to think and do things the way the small town thinking was. And I thought I was trying to do anything crazy, but I just had a different view of things because I've seen more of people and culture and things that were going on, and it changed my view. And so that really rubbed people the wrong way because they wanted things the way they've always done it. And that was a very hard adjustment in many ways. So it was great experience, but coming back and seeing the differences of how much it changed me was difficult, especially when people try to put you in a box. And in today's reading, we see that Nehemiah is needing people to stay in and repopulate Jerusalem. They built the wall. They have other things they need to do, but they need people to come and live in the city of Jerusalem and repopulate it. He asked for volunteers, and the people that chose this path were blessed. And so the people that said, hey, we're willing to volunteer, they were blessed. They were blessed by God, and the people blessed them. Now, this was a difficult ask because starting something new was hard. And going from where they were in exile, they came back, and now they're starting the city over again after it's been ransacked and destroyed. They're building the temple again. Now they're kind of starting over from scratch. That's a difficult thing to do, especially if you're bringing yourself and you're bringing your family and starting over. That's hard, but it's very worth it in the long run. Now, leaving people you care about is hard. Making a decision to step out in faith is hard. We know we should, but doing those things is difficult, and it is hard to do. And so the point I want to drive home today is to love the city you are currently in or will be living in later. And so like they made a decision, hey, we're going to love this city. It's something that matters to us as a people, as a nation, but we're going to make a decision to serve here and love here and be part of this because it matters to us. And so whether you're living in the city now or one you'll live in later, learn to put down roots and love that city. You need to be an active participant involved in the life of the city. It is difficult to live in one city and serve and do life in another. Right now, as a family, our lives are not where we live. We live in one city, but everything we do is somewhere else. Um, our home is far away from where we work, spend time, and have friends. It becomes difficult to be vested in a city when you're not focused on that city. And so, right now, my mind and my thinking and things that are going on are somewhere else instead of where I live. And so, it's like we basically are just like we're almost like renting a room where we live and not really invested in where we're at. Now, it doesn't mean we don't care about the place. Doesn't mean we're not try to do things that are here. Um, and we're actively asking God for open doors for opportunities. But right now we are where we are for whatever reason that is. We don't know, but we're trusting His sovereignty and how He's leading and what He's doing and what He's provided for us. Um, and so the challenge I have for you today is to love the city you live in and be part of the fabric to make it brighter for Christ. Right now that is what we do where we can, where we live. Even though our lives are other places, I try to be involved as I can in the community that I'm at and try to serve and do things here to help reach people for Christ, even though I'm not involved on day-to-day basis like I would like to be. Because that's what I'm used to. That's my personality, and I don't like being split in what I'm doing because I'm all in or I'm not, and so it's a very difficult place to be when I can't be in serve where life is done. Um, and so right now I'm trying to split that duel, and it's almost an impossible task to do. Trying to be in both places at once because you can't do it. Because I believe it's important that you serve and even attend church in the city you live in because that's what you should do. But unfortunately, sometimes there aren't good churches to be a part of, and that's kind of what we found here. There aren't good churches where we're living at currently that we would like to attend. That aren't doing things biblically the way I think Christ is given the church the demand to do. There aren't any here for us to attend, and so we're going elsewhere to attend churches who are doing things that way. Um, and so that's the challenge I have for you and for me is to get involved as much as you can in the city you're in and love that city because it matters. You should have a heart for the place that you live because those people need Jesus. And so they need truth and hope. Right now, my heart is split between where I live and where I serve, like I said earlier. So I can't fully commit like I did when I lived in Atlanta. When I lived in Atlanta, I was completely all in. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Where I was is where I was at. And they got all my devotion as far as church wise and serving in the city, volunteering, everything I did, I was there all in. So I understand the difference of where it is and what it looks like to be involved in that. So the desire behind this devotion is today is to be committed where you live. That's what I want you to understand. Be committed where you live. Settle down and put down roots. It doesn't matter if it's for 7 years or for 70. Serve and love the city and watch how God moves in the lives of people. If you allow it, the city you serve in can and will bless you beyond measure, even when you don't think it's possible. Take it from me. I never thought I would love city life, but it fundamentally changed me in so many positive ways. I now have sentimental feelings when I see the Atlanta skyline. I see it and I have great memories of things that are going on. When I see airplanes, it reminds me of ministry and friends because we live literally a few miles from the Atlanta airport. So when I see airplanes, it takes me back to what I saw every day and saw and experienced and seen, and then memories of people and ministry and God moving in the lives of people. I have very, very fond memories of those things and some of the greatest ministry opportunities and times I've ever had. And so I've learned how to love a city that was different than me because I put down roots. We were involved in what we were doing. We were involved in everything that was going on. And so I challenge you to do the same. And it will change how you do ministry, how you view things, but it also will help you. So I hope I made sense today what I was trying to say. It's hard to kind of to summarize this real quickly. But love where you are, put down roots where you are, and serve the city you're in because your city you're in needs the love of Jesus. And even when it's difficult, either try to make a change or try to move to a place where you feel like you can do that. But wherever you are, don't just be a bystander, be a participant. And so, because it matters, because if you're a believer, you should be part of the ongoings that are happening on a daily basis. Ooh, sorry, didn't mean to yawn on you. So just be encouraged by that today. Tomorrow we'll be in Nehemiah chapter 12 and 13. Have a good day, and I will see you.